Good morning guys, it's James here from Sunseeker Southampton and we are on episode number 6 of the Sunseeker 28 metre refit today. So today we are taking her out on a sea trial with various certification authorities, engineers doing the stabilisation system, the electronics for the navigation and some of the general shipwright work that we've been doing. So the boats actually might seem a little backwards today to you. We've had to take some panels down in order to get access to various systems we'll be checking. And once these are all signed off today, we can start putting the cabins back together. We're T-minus 5 days now until she's onto a ship and off down south. So join me back in a bit where we'll be off the berth and we'll talk you through a bit about what we're going to be doing. So the guys have just dropped the spring lines off, which sit down here about 45 degrees to stop the boat seesawing on the mooring. It's just got a couple of lines left. We're going out under the lift bridge here 7:30 this morning. So we're just warming the engines up. All the engine commissioning sea trials have been completed, so there isn't really anything to test in there other than Rena checking shafts and things today. Just come around so you can see tenders now fitted on the back there. This obviously is a hydraulic high-low bathing platform that we've seen maintenance works done when she was ashore, so that's all now finished. She's looking lovely. So still lots to do inside, but actually the interior is going to come together quite quick. And we're actually not going to fit the carpets when she's still here in the UK. She's going to put on the ship, head down to South France, and then we'll send a team down to finish off cosmetics in there just to make sure nothing gets damaged in the movements to and from the ship and what have you. She's going into Genoa, and then there's a run up the coast from Italy to Gulf Juan, where she's going to be based in France. See, we're just departing the dock here. So what happens here on the bridge is the two centre sections lift up like sails, hence why this particular bridge is called twin sails. And then we've got another bridge once we're through here, the old pool lifting bridge we'll be going through as well. Huge powerful hydraulic thruster system. There's plenty of power to take the boat off the dock here. See, relatively little wind today, I should say about 10 knots. See the captain just taking her away here. So here we are up on the fly bridge. You can see speed here, we're running at 10 knots. So displacement speed, you can see we've obviously got a bit of swell over here, easterly winds today coming in from the Isle of Wight, which is just over there on the horizon. So this would be a real good test now for the zero speed stabilisation system. So those big fins that you've seen on the previous videos, you can see how the boat is staying absolutely dead level in its yaw from side to side. Obviously can't stop the pitching of the boat as we go over the waves, but it's a very difficult angle for the gyro brain behind the stabilisation system to fathom out how to keep the boat here running. We're not broadside to the waves, we're sort of 45 degrees. This is typically where a boat would really roll from side to side at a low speed. So it's a good test. They're just dialing in the stabilisers downstairs, and you'll see them coming around at different angles just to make sure they've got them absolutely set up perfectly. The advantage of a fin stabilisation system is it works also at speed. So when we run the boat up a minute to sort of 20 knots, 25 knots, we can still see the stabilisers in action. And when you use a gyro system, slightly different in how it works. It's a spinning ball inside a washing machine sized box, and they tend to be very effective at anchor, but not so much so when you're underway. In terms of calibrating kit, so we've got things like the nav equipment. So these are all new Simrad NSS Evo 3 displays, which are the latest kit from Simrad. So they've all been replaced, all the new dash panels have gone in. There's the last few bits just to finish off here. can see the new radars up top there, so big open array, and then there's a smaller dome radar right up the top there. Other aerials up top here, so we've got, these are the PEP wave antennas, the 4 of the upright aerials there for the 4G onboard data system. Then we've got the AIS aerial here, and GPS aerials up on the arch. You can see obviously now we've got the newly painted radar chair up there. It's all looking very sparkly. Just some panels to finish off in here once they've run the last of the cabling in. They're waiting on a few final bits of equipment. Obviously all the upholstery is off the boat today for testing. Lovely view of Old Harry back here. The rocks just outside Poole Harbour. And you can start to feel the sea state. We've come around now more into a head sea as we head further east. So you're going to run the boat for another few minutes like this, and then we'll get her up and going, see what she's like at speed.
Phil, we're going flat out.
Phil, we're going flat out.
I was going to put the full beat down. There you go. Make sure you didn't fall over.
I think that's like the sweep.
Let's go. I need to get. He needs to be told.
Look at that. New build RPM, that is. France, no time. Might have a bit of a jump in.
Yeah.
I'll just go hard.
That's a flat out full speed turn at 27 knots. Just up on the flybridge here, so you can see we're running just over 28 knots. Engines have achieved their rated RPM there. Temperatures and pressures looking good, everything's nicely balanced. And they're just doing a series of flat out turns here. See banking over there beautifully. With the stabiliser still active, so that means the boat rides very flat in the turns. Just find you the fuel burn, so we're burning 360 litres an hour per engine at the moment, flat out. Absolutely effortless for a boat that weighs north of 70 tonnes, pretty impressive. That lovely wake shot. Never get bored of being out on yachts like this, I have to say. Perfect way to start the day. we're just running back in the swash channel here into pool. Seatrials complete. You can see, just for comparison versus the high speed runs, this is a good typical sort of 10 to 12 knot long distance cruising speed. You can see we're burning now 42.4 litres an hour per engine there. So from an efficiency point of view, we've got a range then of around 1,000 miles on this hull, which is pretty impressive for what is a fully planing hull, as you've seen today. So getting up for almost 30 knots flat out. So we've calibrated the stabilizers, calibrated the autopilot. RENA, who are the certifying authority for the yacht, are happy with the high-speed turns. Checked out the mechanical systems, no leaks on the shafts and what have you. They're effectively the authority that come in and check off the safety standard of the boat, and they come back and do regular inspections on set time periods, just to ensure everything's up together all the time. So when we get back into port and tied up, I'll just give you a quick run through the last few bits that you can see that have been done to the boat since we last saw her a couple of weeks back in pool. And hopefully, if we get the opportunity, we'll also join her for the delivery up to the ship in Southampton, just to finish the project off. You can see the last of her before she heads south. So just coming past the shipyards here in Poole, see what we've got today. So two 76 yachts. You can see one here with a white roof, and one with a black painted gloss roof there, just for a little bit of back-to-back comparison. Looks like we've got another one here as well, tucked over in the shed there. So we've got a 116 yacht and a 55 Predator. Hidden in this one is the new 100 yacht hull, boat number 1, which hopefully in the not too distant future I'll be able to do a bit of a walk through how that new project's coming along. Then in the dock here, so yet another 76 behind, and then we've got a 68 Manhattan here with a black roof, and then two Ocean 90s, which are in last stage of build. And then in forward of that we've got a plethora of 55 Manhattans, so two in the water, and then a 68 Manhattan up the top there. So we're just getting ready, coming into a different pontoon here on the right hand side. You can see the crane waiting there. So the last job for today is to crane the hot tub up and onto the aft deck, up on the flybridge. So we're just going to manoeuvre the boat into position, and then the guys will be doing that before she then goes through that bridge in about an hour's time. So we'll just have a quick run through now that we're back. So you can see bits of artwork starting to go up on the walls. You can see the finish on these new bulkhead panels, which are lovely. Much of this we've already seen before, so there isn't a huge much more really in terms of the interior development from when we last saw it, till we go and put the carpets and the last of the bed frames and what have you in. Now that we're signed off with the stabilizers, I can show you what cabins look like with the beds starting to go back into place now. You can see hidden under the floor here is the stabilizer access, so the bed lifts up to get in and check the top of that for no leaks and what have you. See things like the new table lamps on the bed here. Starting to see some furniture come in, so these are the The seats are going to sit either side with the table through the middle. Frames on the floor upside down, those are the hatch frames for the, once the carpet's edged, we'll go around things like these hatches here for access. In for maintenance, all of the bulkhead panels in here. The bed frame, what have you, looks pretty much finished now. So say next time we'll see her, we'll be on the way to the ship, hopefully end of this week, when we'll have a chance to understand what's what.
Oh, somebody looking over the side. Let him in. Oh, beautiful. So this rail needs to go back up. Okay. Which is here.
So just before I sign off for the day, I'm just going to show you what's waiting to be loaded onto the aft deck. So this is the spa bath. You can see all the inlets and outlets for the water system on the back and the electronic system and everything hidden away underneath the frame there. These are all what we call fast mount panels, so clip on nice finished panels to allow easy serviceability. You can see all the little adjustable feet in there to get it nicely level on the deck. And then it has a little glass panel that sits in here. So this is off a 116 yacht design. So nice unit there, and that's going to be sitting centre line on the aft deck with a sunbed either side once it's all done. And here you can see the sunbed arrangement. So this is going to slot in where the jacuzzi is, and then that sits around the aft end of the flybridge to give you a giant sun pad. Centre section lifts up to give you storage underneath. So that's us done for the day. So I hope you enjoyed that brief run out, and hopefully join us back end of the week when we'll be taking her up to the ship, and I'll show you as much as I can of her finished off prior to onward shipping down to Genoa.